Hello, hello. Oops, I was like, I didn't realize I was live for a second. I'm like, oh my goodness, here I am. So, hello, hello. Happy Sunday to you all. I hope you're having a good one. So, I'll give everybody a minute to come on. I'm here for my weekly live. So, give everybody a minute because I know it was not on exactly at 7, but here I am, 7:05. So, there you go. There's a 5 minute window, right? Sorry, window of grace, I guess, right? So there we go. So here I am. It's like thought spring was supposed to be here in the Pacific Northwest, but boy, it is rainy today, right? But well, actually, it should be almost summer, right? Because it's June. So I don't know. I don't remember when the seasons all start, and I'd have to look it up to see, right? But I know it's upon us, but it's rainy here today. It doesn't feel like spring. It doesn't feel like summer, but I guess that's what keeps everything green and pretty and all of that. So, there's that, right? So there we go. Hey, Maggie, good to see you. So now I want to look up because now I'm so curious. When does, hey, Lee, when does summer start? Let's see. I want to see. Ooh, so it starts this month. Look at that, June 20th. So we're in spring and summer is coming on June 20th. So it's here, but it doesn't feel like that right here. It doesn't feel like that, but and I'm actually wearing a hoodie today, and I wish my hoodie had a pocket in the front, but it doesn't have any pockets in it. So anyway, but there's that. So anyway, so hey Lee, hey Maggie, and hey Kate, good to see you. Oh, you're excited to be getting rain. It has been months. Okay, there you go, right? So yeah, so that it is good. I do like rain, but I'm like, I'm ready for some sunshine, but it'll come. Hello, Rachel, good to see you. So every time I look at my background, I'm like, okay, I need to get organized and finish unpacking so I don't have like stuff all around that I need to like put away and organize. But my new place is awesome, Rachel. I love it. It's so much better than where I was, and I'm like sleeping better, feeling better. So that's a really good thing. And I know once I get finished kind of unpacking and arranging, as I look around, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do that instead of having the clutter, right? There you go. But there's that. So hey, Emmy, good to see you. I know I've never been to New Mexico. That would be a fun place to visit. I have not visited blah 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 New Mexico, but I'm sure we'll get sun here soon. Actually, I think on the weekend on Saturday it's supposed to be like 80 something on Saturday. So that's good. We have like a good mix here in the Pacific Northwest. So there's that. So Rachel says Santa Fe is on amazing. I'll have to put it on my list. Sedona's on my list. Ireland's on my list. England, Scotland, Hawaii. And now I guess put Santa Fe on my list now too, right? So here we go. And hey, Maria, good to see you. So let's just add another one on the list. So it's always fun. I do want to, Australia. Yeah, Australia and New Zealand. That would be a fun place to visit too. So yes. Yes, indeed, Kate. There's so many beautiful places, right, to visit. And I want to go to Canada too. So like, and the whole time I lived in the Seattle area, I never once went to Canada. Isn't that crazy? Never once did I go to Canada, which is so crazy. So anyway, one of these days I will. Rachel, great question. So Rachel says, are you picking up any vibes from Oscar? So Oscar makes me want to like stretch out and like cross my arms like this. He's like, he's like, I'm serious into like Oscar wants what Oscar wants. He's like, come on. He's like, I give you that look. He's showing me. He's like, he like gives you kind of a look that he gives you that's kind of like, hey. He's like, hey. So he's like sending those vibes to you, like, let's go, let's go, let's go have fun, is what he says. He's like, I want to go have fun. And he says he's the handsomest boy ever. He's like, I'm so handsome. He says, I'm so handsome. And he says he's like really like growing into himself, and he's having me like hold out my hands like this. He's like, oh, like I really like grown, and like look at me, like I really kind of like, you know, filled out, and look at like how just debonair and handsome I am, and how, what a good boy I am. He's like, I am such a good boy. And he's like, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He's like showing me, he's like, let's go, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Let's go. He's like, I'd like some fun. He's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, and he's like, I sure am handsome. So he's like, you said he does the back kicks when he pees. Oh my gosh, that's funny. He says he's really like learned to kick like really high now that you speak of that. He's like, yeah. And he's like, and you say he's spoiled and he loves adventures. He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't want to be bored. He's like, idle hands. He's like, I don't like idle hands. He's like, I don't like idle hands, but like him, it would be idle paws. He's like, I don't like idle paws. He's like, boom, like that. He sends you vibes all the time. Like if you feel like, whoa, what was that? He's like, that's me. Let's go play. Let's go for a walk. Let's go. So he's like, let's go. Oh my goodness, Oscar. And I love that painting that you had done of him. I saw that today in your post. Like that was so cool. That painting of him is so cool. Yes. Do you think we'll ever be able to leave him at home alone, Mr. Separation Anxiety? Yes. And I feel like you're just going to have to keep working on that with him, and just be like, okay, we're going to be gone for 15 minutes. We're going to be gone for, a half hour, just kind of that way he sees that you're going to come back, and you're going to come back. You're going to come back, and just give him activities and things he can do like when you're gone. So then he'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Like I get to like chew on this or have this fun thing while they're gone. So you could get like a Kong toy and like stuff it with like with peanut butter, as long as it doesn't have xylitol or birch sugar, because those are the same things and those are really toxic to animals. So give him like a fun little thing that he can do when you leave. So then he has that, and then wear him out before you leave, and then show him that when you get back, like, what reward he gets. Like, okay, cool. You get to go for a little extra walk when we get back. Like all those things. Okay, cool. Skippy. Perfect. Yeah. And that doesn't have that in that. So that's perfect. Yeah. Skippy peanut butter. So he's like, yeah. He's like, just do that and like work with him, and just make sure I have like fun puzzle things to occupy me when you're gone, and just do like little stints at a time. And he says that will help. He's like, that will help. And yeah, she did do an amazing job on that picture. It's like amazing. That definitely takes some talent there. That's for sure. Like I don't have that kind of talent. Nope. Not in painting, but that's okay. I can do paint by numbers. So that counts for something, right? So there we go. And you're so welcome, Rachel. And then so good to see you. And then Maggie says, anything. Oh, Maggie, so much love. Maggie says, anything from my cat, Bodie. He died May 22nd. He lived with my friends in New York for the last 6 years of his life. I was blessed to be his mama for the first 8 years. And what he's showing me, Maggie, is he's having me like reach out my arm like this and kind of sit back like this. He says, you feel me like reach out to you. He's like, you felt me like reach out to you. And he's having me like lift my one arm here. Like you felt like my energy tap you. Like you felt my energy tap you. And I was like saying thank you. And he's having me like want to go like this now too. Like I'll always be your superhero boy. I'll always be your superhero boy. And like you can just feel that energy push back, and that love. And he says he was so grateful for everything that you gave him. and that connection that you still had with him, even though like he was in his like New York life. He says that connection that you still had with him and that you kept, even though you weren't physically in his life, you had that connection that was tapped into your heart and his heart and your mind and his mind, and it was there. And he says, thank you for that. And he says, watch for light flickers. He says, watch for light flickers. He says, watch for light flickers, watch for light flickers. And I'll always be like your shining light is what he says. He says, I'll always be your shining light. Oh, so much love, friend. So much love. Because that's never an easy thing. It's so hard. So hard. So grief takes time, and there's no time limit, no rules. So there you go. That's how I feel with that. You're so welcome. And he says too, when you put your head to your pillow, connect with him that way too. And you can like open your eyes and you can almost like feel and see his presence, and it'll be right there. So it'll be right there. And he says he's surrounded with your loved ones from up above too, that they're there with him too. And they're connecting with you with him. So there's that. And hey, Patricia, and hey, Becky. Yeah, and of course you're welcome, Maggie. So much love. And then let's see here. I'm sorry, I jump around to the questions here. And then hey, Renee. Let's see here. All right. So Lee says, are Bernadette's ears bothering her? She says yes. They feel kind of like itchy on the bottom, and she makes me kind of want to itch all around her. So she's like, itch all around her. She's like, they itch. But she says my eyes are bothering me a little bit too. She may like go like this in my eyes. She says my eyes are bothering me a little bit too, and my ears feel like itchy. So like all around, like so. Now I always forget how to do this on camera. Like all around here and around here, like all in my ear and all around my ear. It's itchy and it's bothering me. It's like kind of like she says like a little bit of like a she doesn't say stingy, but like a little throbby, and it's like right here, in your ears. It's like right there. It's like, oh, it's bothering me right there. Yeah, she's like, yeah. She's like, they did look at you said, you just sort of took her to the vet and they thought they looked at her ears, but she keeps itching. She's like, yeah, she's like, they're itchy. So she's like, so like, just do like a energy flush on them like this. Just be like, okay, I see them clearing, and just kind of hold your hands here and just do some like energy movement and energy work with her. And she says that will help too. And she says we need to get like a baseline blood work too. She says baseline blood work. We need to get a baseline blood work. So there's and you were just doing that the other night. She's like, well, keep it up. She's like, well, don't stop. So keep on doing that, Lee. And I feel like that will help. She's like, that's better than what they would suggest anyway. So she's like, just keep doing it. Don't worry about what they would or wouldn't do. She's like, boom, boom. She's like, you do it and it'll be perfect, she says. So there's that. And hey, Charmel, good to see you. All right. So Kate says, we have had Maple for 2 months now. I know it takes a while for them to decompress, but wondering how she is feeling with settling in. And she's had me you're welcome, Lee. She's having me take a deep breath and be like, and like if you just sit with me and like you touch me kind of like on the side of my body and just like just kind of take deep breaths in and out with me, in and out, deep breaths in and out, in and out. And then we can just feel that like rush of love. And she says that touch with you is like what really is helping me to settle in, is just that touch, that extra touch and that extra love is really helping. So she says just to keep with that, and that really helps her. So she's like, yeah, keep with that. She's like, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. So, and she says, she knows she's in the perfect space. She's like, yep, perfect space. So there's that. And calling your other girl to help with helping her settle in. And she says like a nice, like cozy thing to like cuddle up with. She says that helps her as well. She's like, that helps me as well. So there is that. Let's see here. And Patricia says, let's see here. Kate, She does love to be touched and smooched. So yeah, she says that's what helps her. And she's like, she's like, it makes me think like I'm just like laying down all like curled up. She's like, it feels so good and nice and cuddly. And I love that. So like the more of that really helps me. She says the more of that really helps me. And I really like that. So like, let's keep doing that because that really helps me. And I really love that. And that's like really helping me to settle in and has helped me to settle in is that. So let's just keep doing more of that. She's like, more of that, please. Thank you. So there's that. And then Patricia says, Romeo, yay. Romeo is doing so well, adopting very well to being a house kitty. I love him so much. Any thoughts from him? He's like having me like stretch out. He's like, and like sit back and close my eyes like this. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, this is the life. He's like, He's like, I just like, he says his like purr motor is revving and he is just like so happy. And he's like, this is the life. This is the life. This is the life. And I'm loving it. He's like, this is the life. He says he loves it. He's like, this is the best ever. And he's just like so happy to be like in this space and in this life with you. He's like, yeah, it's fantastic. He says it's so fantastic. So anyway, let's see here. And Becky says, any insight why a horse Teton rears when you go to put a halter or even touch at times, or any other messages he has for us? He says if you just spend like about 2 to 5, at least 2 to 5 minutes, maybe 2 to 5 minutes, maximum 8, before like putting the halter on me, that will help. Just kind of let me smell it and let me like soak it in and get used to the fact that it's going to be on me, and that will really help. And then just kind of like stand by me, like you stand by my left side with your right side, and just kind of just take some moments to just kind of connect with me and be in my presence. And that will help even before doing any like touch and stuff, because he says, I don't like to be like startled. Like I like to really just like soak things in. I really like to soak things in. So just kind of give some more time to spend some connecting time before we do like that extensive touch or the halter too, because I'm like, when it's things that I'm like, oh wait, like what's going on? Like I need a few minutes to kind of like soak things in. So it's making me think of somebody that's like, kind of warms up their car and they, maybe take a minute to put their seatbelt on and they just kind of like sit in their car a few minutes before they kind of go anywhere. He says he just needs some like, wind up time. He says, give me some wind up time and some like time to kind of just like soak it in and prepare and to like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And it gives him a chance to kind of like be in that space where he's like ready. He's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And so he says that will help. So there's that. So, and hey, Marla, good to see you. And then, yes, he was a strictly outdoors cat, Patricia. That's what I get is he was like more outdoors. He had like was inside. It was like very, very minute and very limited. I was like inside and it was like very limited. My time inside was very limited and very minute. It was very limited and very minute. So now I'm like soaking up this inside time. It's the best. So there's that. And then hopefully that helps Becky as well. And let's see here. And then Renee says, I hope you're doing well too. Let's see here. If that last sighting near the car mechanic. Yes, I get that was him. And he says and you set up bait in your garden and with cat stuff and then a trail cam. Awesome. He says, just show me running back home. He says, just show me running back home and just keep paying attention to those sightings and just instead of like being like, oh my gosh, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Just be like, okay, like I see you coming back home. 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 I just keep seeing that. And maybe even put like a mantra up, like I see Phoenix home, Phoenix is found, and just put up some sort of like affirmations and mantras to help. And that can be a really helpful thing for us and them when they're missing too, because it could help to be like kind of like a connecting point. So I get if you do that, that will help too. Just be like, okay, like envision me coming back, and keep holding that vision, and whatever mantras and affirmations you have to put up to help with that will be beneficial, is what I get with that. And hey, Audrey, good to see you. Let's see here. So there's that here. All right. And then Kate says, does Angus have anything to say about the new Maple? He never played with Megs, but he and Maple do play a bit. He says, oh, he's like, this is kind of fun. He's like, he's like, now I'm all settled in here. And he's like, ooh, he's like, I like the new Maple, because he says that, he says, he's like, Megs, he's like, I know Megs didn't, like, I don't think Megs really wanted to play with me, but now I know Maple wants to play with me. And like, I like that. I like that Maple wants to play with me. And I like that Maple wants to have fun with me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is what I get. Like, let's have fun. Let's have fun and let's just do it. So Angus is like, yeah. Angus is like, oh, he says he gets like, oh, okay, this is like fun. He's like, oh. So there's that. So, oh my goodness, so funny. Angus is, he's like, oh boy. He's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You're so welcome, Patricia. And yes, hello, Audrey. Good to see you. Let's see here. I'm going to see what other kind of questions come through. I know sometimes it takes a moment here. Bum, 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 bum. So let's see here. Let's give it a moment and see. Bum, 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 bum. Who else comes through? So let's see here. I'm gonna see. Oh, hello, Bonnie. Good to see you, Bonnie. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh wait, hold on a second. I'm like all trying to figure this all out. Okay. Hello, Adrian. Good to see you. Okay, it says, and you're welcome, Patricia. Yes, Megs was a little bit old, but Maple is still such a puppy. And then you just described him to a T. Yeah, he's showing me the way. It's so funny. He showed me the way he plays. He's like, I got my big paws. He's like, oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's so funny. Angus is so crazy. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I get to play now. He's like, this is awesome. So there's that. And then Becky says, yes, it does help. We don't know much of his history besides he was on a pasture for a few years with minimal human contact. And when he finally got on him to ride him, he does good. Yeah, he's like, show me that. Like when you're riding me, like how good it is. Because he's just not used to that. So like it startles him with the chase. I mean, with the touch, because he's like, I just don't know with that. So he's like, oh, like he's like, I'm not used to that. So there's that. So yeah. So good thing you're so patient with him. That's amazing. And then Kate says they play Chasey around the veggie patch. Thanks for connecting. You're so welcome, Kate. That's so funny. So I have like a hair itch on my nose. So there's that. And let's see here. And then I'm going to go to Bonnie and then Audrey. All right. So I'm sorry, I sing as I talk sometimes. That's just the way it is. Bonnie says, good to see you. Good to see you too. Maybe is our 14-year-old lab that we adopted earlier this year. I love that. She is 7 and is high energy, but she also has an obsessive disorder with light reflections. She has started meds, wondering if any insight as to what triggered it. It was she's showing me like things, and she actually like makes me want to like flash my light on and off. She says like stuff used to come like really like really fast around my like face and around me. And I'm just like, I move fast because like stuff used to just like, blah, 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 like flash, 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 on, off, flash, flash, flash. Stuff used to like flash around me a lot. Like, and I don't even like, lights and like flashy things, um, bother me. And the more you kind of like get me out and I kind of have more like movement, that will help me, because like running helps me. Um, running helps me. And then just show me, like, when I get that with those like kind of light reflections, distract me into something else. Be like, okay, here's something to chew on, or go do like another thing instead of like focusing on that. And that will help me too. And she keeps showing me like a car backing up. She says she's weird with like brake lights too, which I know that sounds weird, but she's showing me that, and like things that are just like flashing on and off. It's like almost they just did a lot of like flashing around me when I was with the other people. And she says she's happy to be with you. She's like, okay, you help to give me calm, especially like when you're really connecting with her. She says you help her so much, and she says she's really grateful for that, Bonnie. So that's what she says with that. And then Audrey, oh, you have a lab too, Audrey. Oh, I'm a sucker for the lab. So my 14-year-old lab Joker gets so anxious when I leave the house. How do I help him? What he's showing me like you kind of like go up to him like this, and you so he's like right here in front of you, right? And then you go right in front of him, and like you touch one hand on his right side and one hand on his left side, like this, and you give him like a little bit of like touch, and you connect with him, and you're like, okay, okay, Joker, okay, like it's okay, and just like let him know, like, okay, it's gonna be okay. And give me like my little like comfort stuffy and like a little like comfort thing that I can have in my mouth that helps me to be like that, kind of has like that has maybe like a scent that makes me think of you. So it's like when I'm connecting with that helps me to kind of like feel calm. And he says to kind of have like places where I can see out, but then like a place too where I can just kind of like hunker down and have some quiet. He says he likes that too, like some quiet, and then maybe even like some nice kind of quiet, comforting music, like kind of quietness kind of around him too. So then like because he says he gets like anxious about like different kind of sounds around if you're not home. So he says if he has kind of like a little quiet, like little space for me, he's like kind of wanting me to kind of draw the curtain. So it's like he has a space he can look out, but then he has another space where it's kind of like a quiet space for me too, so I can have that. And then he says really that connecting with him like this before you leave will really help him. He says that will really help me a lot, that if you do that, he says. So there's that. And like they have so much like calming music for pets too, that would really help too. And then just show him, be like, okay, this is when I'm going to come back. And he says too, it's like cognitive stuff too. Like now, like it's amplified with his age, like it's like cognitive related. So there's that. So yeah. And he just keeps showing me like a little like soft thing that I can put in my mouth that like makes me think of you. He says that will help too. So yeah. Oh yeah. And any help you need, feel free to reach out to me, Audrey. So feel free to reach out. So let's see here. And you're so welcome, Kate. And I love that they played Chasey around the veggie patch. And hey, Alicia, good to see you. Let's see here. And then Marla says, still out of town, miss my fur kids like crazy. Oh, I know, right? That's so hard when we're away from them, right? Let's see here. Starting the return journey home tomorrow. Can we check in with Polly and Penny again? They say that they're like having me go like this. You can see me like kind of jump up and down in my chair. They're like, wee, and they make me want to like roll up and back like this in my chair. Because they're like, yeah, we're so excited. They're like, yay. They're like, does that mean you're going to be home by the end of next week? They're like, does that mean you're going to be home by the end of next week? They're like, we're so excited. We're so excited. They're like, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. They're so excited to have you home. They're like, yeah. So So they say, keep showing them when. They're like, woohoo! They're like, you're coming home. So they're really excited about that. So there's that here. Hold on just a second here. I'm going to drink some water. And I'll go back. I think I missed a question up here. I'm going to go back to that here in a second after I get this one. Let's see here. Adrian says, I'm missing my childhood dog, Midnight. He was a black lab. Would love to hear anything you may get from connecting with his spirit. He says, like, he's like showing me like there's like an opening, and he's an opening in your chest where you just like connect with him. And he's having me like hold my hands like this. He's like, hold your hands like this and then connect on your chest here. And he says, like, take a deep breath and breathe with me. He says, like, in those moments where it's like, okay, I'm just trying to like catch a moment and kind of catch my breath and have a moment for me and a moment to connect with me and a moment for me, a moment for me. He says, just feel that. And you can just like keep your hands, like, I'm going to move my chair back a little bit like this. Just keep your hands like this and just like do some breath work with me like that. And he says that will really help connect with him. And he used to snuggle in the sun. I miss him so much. Oh, yeah. And he says that that's a way of connecting with him. It's like, it's almost like you kind of are in that, like, kind of like he's having me do that, like, sound. He's like that and close my eyes. It's like you're in that connection spot with him. So he says, if you could do that, he says that would really help. And you could like feel the light of his love. He says, you could feel the light of my love. And remember, the light of my love is always there with you. And it's always there. He's like, it's always just a touch away. It's always a touch away. It's always a touch away. It's always a touch away, he says. So there is that. And I know I missed a couple questions up here. Patricia says, how is my beautiful Boxster babe? She's on the other side. She's showing me that she is like connecting with you. And she says she helped Snowy come into your life. And she says you feel her like when you walk outside, and she had me kind of like wiggle my foot. She says, like, when you're outside, you connect with me and you can feel me. She says, especially with the grass, you connect with me through the grass and I connect with you through the grass. And that's how we connect with each other. And she says she wants you to like feel that and enjoy that and like soak that in. She says, feel that and know that connection with me is there. So there's that. Oh, you're so welcome, Adrian. You're so welcome. Let's see here. Wait, I know there's another. Okay, I was like, wait. It's like I miss a question, and I'm like, where did it go? So let's see here. So Alicia, good to see you. It's been a while. I say, how's my dog Winter feeling about her paws? And she let me like look at my hands. She's like, they're like okay, but she's showing me like right here, like on the inner part right here, on the top and on the bottom kind of webbing. She's like right in here and like right here. It kind of bothers me on my so my front left and then the outer right of my back paw. So my front left on the inside and my back right paw on the outside and on the inside. She says those are kind of starting to be like, they're like good, but like they're kind of like they like the extra like love and attention. She's like they like some extra love and attention. She says she says I like that extra attention. She's like yeah. So give those paws there. Oh, she bites and licks a lot. So yeah. So she's showing me it's like especially right in here and on that back one is like that's the point of the itch there. So I would look to see if there's somebody near you that does some like acupuncture or even look into acupressure and even some different like massage techniques and things like that to just kind of help that itch, to just kind of go like this, and like talk to your vet about some sort of like paw soak to kind of soak her paws. And she's like, it's slightly diet related, but it's not all diet related, but it's slightly diet related. There's like I get that like chicken makes me more itchy sometimes. Like chicken makes me more itchy sometimes. Chicken makes me more itchy sometimes. She says chicken makes me more itchy sometimes. So there's that. So I know it's so fun when they have itchy paws. Oh my goodness. So let's see here. And Marla says, thank you. You're so welcome, Marley. Oh, I love this. I made my son do a FaceTime call with him a few days ago. I love that. Let's see here. I love that you did that. And that can help them, right? Because it's like, even though we do have that connection with them and that mind to mind and that heart to heart connection that we always have with them, but also doing that on the video so they can see us and like, tune into us and we can tune into them in that way, like, is a really helpful thing. And I recommend that to a lot of people I work with. I think it's like really awesome. So let's see here. Yes, I get yes, Alicia, because you said we have bought chicken canned food. Guess we need to change it. I get a big yes on that the chicken is like this, like the chicken is like this. I would try maybe like duck or pheasant because she says it's not really bothering my stomach so much. She's like, she's like, there could be a better stuff. So I would look into some like duck, pheasant, or quail, or like bison, that kind of thing. I would check into that, was what I would recommend, because I get the chicken is like, so is what I get with that. And then also too, for those of you, there's a really great book called by Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib called the Forever Dog. And they have like now a new one that's the Forever Dog Life. It's like a cookbook where they have different like recipes and stuff, and they share all kinds of amazing stuff. And like both those books are kind of on my to get list. So there is so there's that. So yeah, they have some cool stuff. So they do a lot of cool things on like different food things and all different kinds of stuff. That's really awesome. So I would definitely check that out for those of you that are interested in that. So it's really cool stuff they're doing. I love it. So so there's that. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I'm going to see if I don't want to miss any questions, because sometimes it's easy to miss the questions because sometimes they go so fast. Okay. Okay. All right. So I got, okay, cool. So I got everybody's questions, and I like to kind of scroll back through because sometimes I don't know, I might inadvertently miss them because they come through so fast. So that's why I like to. It's very easy to miss them coming through. So I'm going to see what other questions you guys might have. I'm going to give it a minute. And then if no other questions come through, then I'm just going to wrap it up. So there we go. So I'm like in a singing mood tonight, right? So there we go. So there is that. So, all right. So let's see if I have any other questions come through. All right. So I don't see any other questions coming through. So I think I am going to wrap it up. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, and then I will be back next Sunday at 7:00 Pacific Standard Time. Like, I'm so happy to be back doing, oh, you're welcome, Audrey. I'm so happy to be back to doing my my Sunday night lives, because then when I was moving, I kind of had like a little like I wasn't able to keep up with all of them. So now I'm like back to doing them now that I'm all moved, which is awesome. But now I just gotta finished getting all my stuff all organized, and I know that's going to be amazing. And I'm working on it, but I know time to make a daily commitment to be like, okay, one thing at a time, right? So there's that. So anyway, so grateful for you all. It's so awesome to connect with you all, and I will look forward to connecting with you all next week at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So thanks so much, and see you next time. Bye.